Hi everyone, it's me, Jessica Lee, here at Simple Snapshot, and I'm doing my first ever photo tutorial. It's on how Flickr can help you shop for the right camera or lens. I'm using Flickr because it's just such a great resource online. There's I don't know how many thousands of photographers all across the globe who all come with Flickr. They upload their photos, they use it as a place just to share their photos with other people on Flickr. It's truly an online community, and what we're using in this tutorial is the Flickr group aspect. That's where people can make groups based on interest, and I know it sounds funny, but there's actually one group at least in existence for any camera or lens that's on the market. All you have to do is search for it, and you will find photos that are taken only with that camera or lens. And this is really helpful if you're looking to shop for a certain model, because you can look in that group's photos and you can kind of get an idea of how good the photos are, how the camera or lens kind of deals with things like low lighting or close-up photos, things like that. So obviously it's not as good as getting the actual camera or lens and taking your own photos with it, but I think for free and just 20 minutes or so, it will give you a really good idea of what that kind of photo equipment can do. And that's why I made this tutorial, because I use it literally every time I'm researching for a certain camera or lens, and I found it very helpful. And it's not just informative, but it's also really fun just to see the different photos that other photographers have put up on the web, because there's some incredibly talented people out there, and a lot of them are on Flickr. So I hope that you will find Flickr a place that you can find the information you need, but also it's a place that you can come and just be inspired. And people go there and they become really a part of the community there. There's a lot of discussion boards. You can ask questions and get them answered. You can make friends, things like that. Okay, so enough about Flickr, let's get on to the tutorial. Here's the Flickr homepage. All you have to do is type in the camera or lens model into the search box. I'm looking for the Canon 50mm 1.8 aperture lens. And I click on search to see what comes up. And I have a lot of photos. Now I'm looking for a Flickr group, so I'm going to go up to the top and click on groups. And these are all the Flickr groups that are about Canon 50mm 1.8 lens. What I'm trying to do here is find the group that has the most number of members and items, which means photographs, because I want to have as many photographs as possible to look from to get a better idea of what the camera or lens is like. Now if you see this group, it's actually the 1.4 Canon lens, which is a different lens, so just make sure you check the group name. Now if we go over here, I'm going to check out this 5,000 member group, and these are the photos there. Now if you click on more, you will see all the recent photos uploaded by group members to the group pool. And it's actually kind of fun. You can see what other people have taken with the camera or lens, and you can just browse through and see the kind of photo that you want. We're going to look at this photo because it looks like a nice landscape photo. It has nice color and nice contrast. Now if you look up at the top left above the photo, it says all sizes. This is actually really helpful because you can zoom in if the photographer uploaded a large resolution image. Not everyone does, but if they do, it's really helpful to check it out. And we see that it's not exactly as sharp as it looked when it was smaller. So what we're going to do is see if the sharpness issue is because of something in the camera lens, or if it's just the way the picture was taken. And both are possible. So let's look at the EXIF data, clicking on more properties. So let's see what the camera data tells us with information taken when the picture was taken. We see here that the aperture was 4.5. That's a pretty wide aperture, and with that comes shallow depth of field. This could be why the sharpness is not super sharp in this picture. The photographer may have just been going for a soft focus look, which is fine. Usually landscape photos, if you want sharpness throughout, you need a narrower aperture, but this photo looks great, and now we know why it looks the way that it does. Now I'm looking for a close-up photo, something where the subject is close to the camera. The snail photo looks pretty good, so let's check it out. Okay, this is great, because this is a really good photo. what that tells me also is how close the subject is to the lens, which gives you an idea of what the minimal focusing distance is. To me, this picture tells me that the snail is probably just a few inches away from the camera lens. Since this is a fixed focus lens, most macro lenses are zoom lenses, so you kind of zoom in and it magnifies the subject. But this 50mm lens is a prime lens, so you can't really zoom in aside from moving close in. So to me, that's great. So let's click on all sizes again, see how it looks bigger, which is always better in terms of determining how high the image quality is. And again, the image quality looks really good. You can see that there's a good level of sharpness in the photo and good color and contrast, which all say good things about the lens. So let's check out the more properties, and this will tell you the EXIF data, the camera data recorded. So this tells me the aperture was at 9.0, which is good, and this is probably why the image was relatively sharp. I'm looking now for some landscape or night photography photos. This one looks like a nice night shot, and it looks like a pretty good quality photo. It's sharp, it's not too blurry. Let's check out more properties. Okay, the exposure here is 13 seconds. The ISO is 100. That tells me that the photographer used a tripod because that's the only way that they could get that long of an exposure in with that low of an ISO. So although this is a really nice photo, it actually doesn't help me that much in terms of seeing how this lens operates under low lighting. But let's see what other photos that we can find. While we're looking at low lighting, let's check out this other photo, which is also taken in low lighting. Interesting. And let's check out all sizes. And if you look here, it does look a tiny little bit out of focus, and that could be because, you know, it was taken in a dim environment, and let's see why. Okay, it was taken at 125th of a second, which is pretty fast. Aperture is 1.8, which that's probably why it wasn't super sharp, just because, kind of like the snail picture, 1.8 has a really shallow depth of field, and it's hard to focus on the exact right thing and have it be in focus. But that lens handled low lighting really well. Okay, so looks like we're having a hard time finding a landscape type shot. One of the really good ways to use a Flickr pool is to use a search function. So you just type in what you're looking for. I'm looking for landscape shots, so I'm just going to type in landscape, and just for fun, let's type in country to see what comes up. Okay, here are some nice landscape country shots, and again, Flickr just has such beautiful photos. There's really, really high quality photographers out there. Let's try this landscape photo. Okay, this looks really good. Really beautiful. Has color, contrast, sharpness. Let's just look at the more properties. Okay, so this tells me it was taken with 8.0 aperture, high shutter speed, low ISO. It's telling me that this lens can handle landscape photos. Now, one area in the Flickr group is the discussion area. This is a really informative area because it is basically a message board where members in the group can post messages on any topic they want. You know, someone says, I suck at using this lens, but other people will post issues that come up, complaints. It's a really good way to see what people think who actually own the lens or camera. This one is about someone who's wondering if the lens might focus slowly, and if you see the answers, other people have the same problem, so it might be something you want to know if you wanted to buy this lens. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial on how Flickr can help you shop for camera or lens. If you're on Flickr or you want to join Flickr, you can look me up. I'm Jessica OEI. It's all one word on Flickr, and you can add me as a contact. You're more than welcome. So, till next time, I'll see you around on Simple Snapshot. Take it easy.